Empress, the Empress of Clarity, here to bring you a collective energy reading. I hope everybody is doing well. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section and let me know if the reading resonates with you. I hope that you are doing well. And when you subscribe, ring the bell. That way you're notified anytime I come on. All right, so we're getting started. We're getting started now. Just making sure my gang is all in the building. All those I can make sure of. Whew, so, got a video for you. Let me find it on my computer. I know it's hot by me, y'all. Hey, Carmen. How you doing? How are ya? Hmm? How was your day today? All right, what is my subscription? What is the guy's name? Like, uh-huh. Long day? Yes. Oh, shoot. Yes, I am doing very well. Doing very well. Cannot complain. Was it busy? Yes. Girl, by the time I got home, I had to take a nap. And I didn't even go back out like I usually do. I was tired. So, I don't know what's for breakfast tomorrow, but we done ran out of eggs. Eggs are on recall, again, if you didn't know. Across the state, 1.7 million. Why can't I find this dude I just started listening to? Is this him? There we go. Coach Tynell. Tired is the word of the day. Yes, indeed. Alright, let me find his videos. So we got a new guy. You know how I like to find my videos. You saw it? Okay, good. Yeah, I try to remember to send it to people, a couple people. But I know I didn't make it to everybody. Let me see. Let me see. Why don't I don't care about that. Mm, uh, it's the video. Hold on. I feel like that is not what I heard today. I don't want to find the video that I want to show you. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to go to my watch history. There it is. History. Black cherry. What's going on, y'all? Y'all getting ready? Y'all ready for this? Okay, so the video I'm gonna play for you tonight is this man. What's his name? Coach Tynell. And this is the impact of staying with an avoidant too long. And it says you could do more damage than you realize. Okay, he got a bunch of videos. He's new, but he got a bunch of videos. I like the clear and concise way he speaks. it helps, I feel, for those people who are in situations where the person is in a avoidant. Hi, Ashian Charles. Tuesday. Um. Oh, let me just in that. So yeah, it helps with an avoidant partner. So if you have an avoidant partner, you know they're emotionally distanced. They may have been neglected as a child, so they do not share well. They do not communicate well, or in how to put this, they are the type of people who run at the first sign of vulnerability. You get too close to them, they run. You know, they're the basic runners in the twin flame type thing, but they don't have to be a twin flame. They could just be somebody who's avoidant. They could even be narcissistic. But the point is, this is a person that will want you to fix and do all the emotional labor in a relationship. Now, the title of today's message is that you are divinely protected. And I realize that a lot of people who are learning to detach, learning to not chase and not actually chasing anymore, have been spiritually safeguarded um, in a way that you didn't realize before. Because when you stop covering the person that you were chasing, when when you stop focusing on them, you pull your energy back, you actually gain a little bit more energy. Like we were saying, we are tired, right? An avoidant is drawing on your energy. A lot of times they're like an entity attachment to you. They might have an entity attachment and then they attach to you because you're the host. They're the host, you're the host. You get what I'm saying? Like it just keeps going. But when you learn the art of detachment and you actually detach, you gain some energy. And I mean, it's a real thing. If I hadn't experienced it, I wouldn't know, you know? All right, so, I like that, Arshia and Charles, Palestine and Israel getting along. That would be great. That would have been wonderful. All right, so we're going to play this video. The title is The Impact of Staying with an Avoidant Too Long. So if y'all have any difficulty in hearing this video for whatever reason, I'm going to put my mic close to the audio. Let me know. I'm going to have to skip an ad. Hold
The
on.
relationships seem to start strong, then always seem like they fall apart. One moment, maybe you feel like you're all in.
All right. Okay, I see. I can't hear it. We'll go back.
The cycle that you're essentially going through, where wherever you try to get close,
Hold on. Shit. Okay.
essentially going through, where wherever you try to get close to them, they ended up pulling away, and then the moment that you started pulling away, they essentially tried to get back with you in some way or some form. And because you've gone through this, you've conditioned to believe that having anxiety towards someone is essentially a sign of attraction because of that push and pull dynamic that you had, which is so very convincing when you're in that cycle because you can't really distinguish between the two and realizing that anxiety is definitely not attraction, but it's so hard for you to again distinguish it in there. And this is due to you going through that so many different times that it has been conditioned, which confuses you to feel like it's a good thing in the sense that you're having an attraction towards them. But when you take a step away from the relationship and you start to heal, you will see that this was a really negative thing that was happening, and this was causing you to essentially be so confused and be addicted to that feeling. Number two is that you shrink yourself to be easier loved. Now, this is again due to having that push and pull dynamic, right? You have gone so long being in that type of relationship that you start to want to actually shrink yourself down so that you don't have to run into triggering this person, right? You try to do everything that you can to make sure that they're not going to start to pull away from you because you don't want that to happen and you genuinely
Can
want
y'all
to be in
hear
a
okay?
relationship
Just
with the person.
verify
And
for
while
me,
you think that you're only
please.
doing that with them, you essentially changing your whole dynamic, right? Because it's hard for you to distinguish that, right? It's very hard for people to go from one relationship to another and start to think like, oh, I'm just only going to act this way with this person and that's it. It starts to change your identity to where you are fearful to just want to express yourself the way that you normally would in a healthy relationship. So because of that, you think that this is just how you are, but in actuality, it's a byproduct of you being in a relationship with someone who isn't avoidant, and you are essentially trying to do this to make sure that you don't trigger their avoidant attachment style. Number three is that your self-worth starts to take a hit. This is very typical for a lot of people who are going through relationships with avoidant because they genuinely feel like they are the main problem, right? Because the avoidant either does it directly or indirectly with communicating to them that there's something wrong with them that's causing the avoidant to react this way. But in actuality, we all know that this is due to the avoidant, right? This is on them. They are projecting this onto you. But it's so easy for you to get caught up to make yourself feel like you're the issue because, again, you love this person and you want to take their feelings and their thoughts and all these different things into consideration. But this way of thinking and being is 100% on them and it's not on you at all, right? They have to work through this on their level, but by them projecting it onto you, you are made to feel like you are the problem. And because of that, it takes a hit on your self worth because, again, there's this script running in your mind feeling like you're doing too much, you're making them feel uncomfortable or vulnerable, or why can't you just get things right? But in actuality, this was always how it was going to be because they have to work through this on their end, right? And if they don't, it's always going to come up because they're going to project that on you no matter what. And the longer that you stay in that relationship, the more it's going to deteriorate that to where you essentially have no clue who you are or what your self worth is anymore because it's something that has been chipped away so long and you are unrecognizable to yourself anymore. Number four, you stay in a relationship that is built on potential and not reality. This tends to be, again, another big thing that a lot of people share when they go through relationships with avoidance because you are really holding on to that, right? That's your North Star is the potential of what the relationship could be. It's why you tend to stick around in the relationship because they show different signs that they can be loving, caring, and that the relationship can really work if they would just drop this avoidant attachment style. But this again is just really potential because in order for you guys to get to that point, they are going to have to do the hard part, and that is to actually work through this. But typically, they don't end up doing it. And if they do, it ends up being long after you guys have the relationship because it does take a while for them to actually process this, right? So our minds ends up tricking us believing that the potential that we had in our mind is what things were, right? And how things are, and that we essentially are messing it up by being too much or pushing them or whatever it is that you're telling yourself. But in actuality, it wasn't going to get to that point until they actually did their part in doing what is necessary for them to heal from this avoidant attachment style. Number five is that you begin to fear healthy love. This is something that is very correlated to that push and pull dynamic, right? You are essentially in fear of a healthy love in the sense that opening up, expressing emotions, dealing with conflict, all of the things that you would expect to have in a healthy relationship ends up being a negative thing because that avoidant looks at those things as being negative. And whether you realize it or not, you are starting to interpret that as well. And you are starting to look at these things and be conditioned that way because you're trying to avoid having them have this reaction. So your subconscious mind begins to look at all of those things and says, nope, that's not a good thing to do. We don't want to be that way because they have conditioned you to be that way either directly or indirectly with this avoidant attachment style. So you start to look at this relationship as being a healthy thing or more secure, but in actuality, it's not. And there's a part of you that realizes that and knows it. And you're having this hard, difficult battle going back and forth with that. But once you get to step away from the relationship and start to heal from it, you'll see how this is essentially causing things to make you feel this way. And it's not at all true to how you feel. It's more on them and what they have projected on you, which has clouded your judgment on what you actually want and think.
So we pausing, right? So basically, he said when you pull back your energy, and you after being in an avoidant relationship or in a relationship with an avoidant, you actually start to clear your thoughts. You start to realize that the relationship wasn't healthy. You start to realize that their distance means that they don't want to get it together. You start to realize that you're better than that. Like your self esteem starts to perk up. You start to see the relationship differently. And you actually start to see it for what it is. Oftentimes, when I read for people, one of the questions I'm always asking is, what do you want with the person? What is it that they do for you that you feel like you need them in your life? And if you have a struggle to answer what do they actually do for you, then that's the problem. Because you struggle to come up with a valid, explainable reason for their presence in your life. Now, on the flip side, I'm pretty sure they could rattle off many things that would be desirable about you. You could even rattle off many things that would be desirable about you. Yet, many people hold on to a person that has no value. One of the things he mentioned in this video, which I feel like is very true to people I know, is that the avoidants tend to think they have a value in their life, in your life. They have convinced themselves somehow that they add something to your life, but they only add pretty much, in my opinion, headache, drama. Okay, they, the push and pull dynamics of a relationship is exhausting. No one wants that. Why would you want that? Right? It validates them, but it does nothing but drain you, hence being tired. Okay, I'm gonna let him rock and then we're gonna finish.
And number six is that you put yourself last. This is how it's always been since day one of you guys getting into a relationship together, right? You've put aside all of your wants, needs, desires, your boundaries. As I went through my timeline, I realized
Hold
that
on,
I
y'all.
was sexualized. I think 5 years old, and I started to experiment with everything to try to make this relationship work, right? Because you believed in it, really thought that you could get this person to turn things around and realize how valuable both you and the relationship are, and for them to want to actually work things out. But in actuality, you've gone above and beyond, you've met them more than halfway, and they just essentially never did their part, right? They took it for granted and they thought that this is how things are, and they didn't do anything to, again, try to meet you halfway. So because of this, you end up not getting your needs met at all, right? You're constantly putting them first, and this is so draining. You cannot live in a healthy relationship like this for so long because you need to have your needs met as well, right? It needs to be 50-50. Not saying that there may be some days where you go a little bit more than the other person. That's perfectly fine, but there needs to be some kind of reciprocation back and forth between each other and some type of understanding. And this just typically doesn't happen, right? You typically have it being one sided heavy, and it's you doing everything all at once. And I hope by now you're realizing the theme here and understanding that it's time for you to figure out what's best for you here. Chances are you've gone through enough of this and that you are tired emotionally, physically, and it's time for you to listen to that side of you now, right? You did everything you possibly could here. You've tried so many times to get this person to just wake up a little bit and put some effort into this, and they're just not. They're not ready for that. They have to figure out what they need to do to heal from this avoidant attachment style if there's ever going to be a chance for you guys to actually have a healthy relationship. And again, this may take a while because there's a lot that they have to process and work through. And yet, even if they want to, right, they have to get to a place where they genuinely want to make that change, and they have to stick to it because it's so easy for them to just push away again and just be, you know what, I'm just going to stick to being this way, and it is what it is. And what you need to understand here is that you need to prioritize yourself and figuring out what's best for you. You already know what that is. It's now time for you to have the courage and commitment and love for yourself to stick to that because that is what is important here. But with that being said, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did,
Okay. So I hope y'all heard him clearly. Whoever heard, I hope y'all heard him clearly. Basically, listen, it's time. It is time. If you aren't already, prioritize yourself. It is time to clear the energy from anybody that may have come into your life And this is male or female, it doesn't matter what type of relationship. If you have somebody that, like, I've had girlfriends that, you always got to pull them out of their shell. They always go quiet, they disappear, and they don't come out the shell until somebody comes and seeks them out. That gets old. That gets old. I don't care how much you care, I don't care how much you've known them. It gets old and tiring. And you realize that you're the one always pulling them out of their shell. Now, do they have legitimate concerns, issues, problems? Yes. But their concerns, issues, and problems are not your responsibility. That's one thing I had to learn. It's not my responsibility. I love you. I care for you. We have history, but it's not my responsibility to heal you. Folks have to learn to put in the energy into themselves and to show up in relationships and the healthiest version that they know how to be, and continue on the cycle of improving themselves, not regression, not ignoring, not ghosting, not giving an excuse. Well, I'm like that, or whatever. I get quiet. I disappear. No, that's not okay. It's not okay for you to have somebody in your life that you're constantly trying to pull back into your life, trying to make sure that they're okay. And people like that are very selfish in that they want you to do that and they expect you to do that. And the moment you don't, they lose their mind. You know what I'm saying? The moment you do that, it's like, oh, well, you didn't care about me. What the hell did they bring to the table to you? When did they come look for you? When did they support you? Because 9 times out of 10, in situations with avoidance, like he mentioned, you can't come up with a time where they actually showed up for you. Or maybe you can, maybe it's 1 out of the 10 times that you showed up for them, right? But there's nowhere near an equal exchange or reciprocity. They are always somehow the victim, or somehow you just got to show up for them. It's so frustrating. But I snicker a little bit because I've watched people, I'll pay attention, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you're going to pull away with the expectation I'm going to come get you. Now, back in the day, I was that person. I certainly was that person to be like, huh, so and so must not be feeling well. Let me go check on them. And I do. Not no more. I don't subscribe to energy vampires anymore. Okay. And that's an energy vampire. To do that to somebody without care or concern that they have other things going on in their life, but they're worried about you, and you only worry about you. They be in their own little selfish world. And sometimes they be in depression. I ain't gonna lie. But regardless of their state, if that is always the case between you, then you have some considerations. You have some things to think about. You gotta think like, okay, can I sustain this for a long term? No, you can't. You're going to go on with your life. You're going to have kids. You're going to have relationships. You're going to have, celebrations. And you can't be trying to pull this person into your celebration all the time. It don't matter who they are in your life. It's not fair to you as well. I remember when I was in college, I had a roommate. And I used to cook a lot in the house. So every time I cooked, I would offer this child some food. And she would always refuse. The one time I finally said, well, I'm not gonna bother to ask her now because she don't never accept. And that's fine with me. More food for me, right? So I didn't offer. And she used that against me to start an argument. And I luckily, I felt what I felt. Like, I feel no kind of way. You're not gonna make me feel bad anytime I offer you, but now the time that I don't offer you, you have a fit. Those people that guilt you for not being you to them anymore. Man, listen, pull your energy back. pull your energy back from them people, because they will have you. First of all, it's a long journey with that energy. And when I pulled the card, I saw sudden wealth. This gave me love bomb vibes. You know, when somebody just comes on very strong and you think you're clicking, things feel really good with this person, and but you didn't get the vulnerability point yet. All right. Then you got the promise with the distant horizon. You got the promise of potential, right? Now you dip it into potential, but the potential is not realized. So now you get to the next stage. Okay, well, we got to change something about this relationship because we can't eat on potential. That's like saying, I got no money, but I need gas. Well, you got to have something to get something, right? And this person is not putting any effort in. They're not putting any money up to go get that gas. So you ain't going to get nowhere. And then the challenge and the lesson is imprisonment. The goal was always marriage. The goal was always the union, the friendship, or whatever, the commitment. But there's imprisonment here. This person will have you locked in a cycle with them. You will feel stuck and imprisoned. You will feel miserable. You will feel tired. You will feel stressed. You will feel anxious. That's what creates the anxious attachment style, because you're so busy trying to fix things with somebody who doesn't want fixing, does not want to accept your advice, doesn't want to change anything about them. They feel like ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm good. Meanwhile, they got you stressed the fuck out, because while we haven't worked through this, we haven't gotten to see what the potential look like. We haven't done anything, whatever the connection is. We haven't done it. Say you had a bestie and y'all were going to travel, but this person always got an excuse why they won't travel. When it gets close to that date, they got another excuse. Or they run and they go do something with somebody else and you left hanging. The avoidant attachment style was something that was created in somebody's childhood, 9 times out of 10. And it's something they project onto you or they use against you. A lot of times with the expectation that you're just going to be there, while and accept the fact that they turned away, or when you get close to this person they run away. Like, it's just, and the and you're not even, let me just say this, you're not doing anything wrong. Just like he said, you're not doing anything wrong, but trying to be normal in a relationship with somebody who is abnormal and can't admit it. You got to be careful when you understand that that is what's happening in your connection. Then you have to make a move, and it's called pulling your energy back. It's kind of like stopping your tracks, analyze what's happening, and just stop. Take account of what this person is doing or has kept doing to you. What are you allowing? Just stop. Pause. And one of the things that they say, and I agree with, when this person comes back from their ghosting or whatever, don't just take this person back. Even if you really feel like you love them, don't just take them back. Because if this person is not coming with change, they're gonna come with imprisonment. Meaning they're gonna trap you right back in another cycle because they think you care. And the thing is, it's not that you won't care. It's not that you don't care. We love when we love. When we love somebody, when you love somebody unconditionally, they do get away with a lot of things with you. They can. It's a lot that they can get away with before you put your foot down. But even when you put your foot down, does not mean you stop loving them. It just means that you no longer accept the behavior that will drain you the way they do. You will not accept anything that won't be the change when you put your foot down. That means you plant yourself, and you don't take another step further. So your avoidant really needs to learn that, maybe this has been a long journey for the both of you, but with that 10 there, that journey is over. Okay? For my beloveds, for my collective, y'all not going to keep tolerating somebody that keeps you in a cycle with the promise of a commitment or friendship, only for them to keep taking you back into the cycle, love bombing you, come around. Then they get distant again. They promise change. Nothing never changes. Then you feel locked in once again. Just saying. That's exhausting. And then with an avoidant person, you never really know. They're not showing you who they are. They're lying. And they're not giving you unconditional love. Please remember that. If you're in a situation with an avoidant and they're doing these things to you, they are not providing you with the unconditional love that you also need. You know, a lot of us who are strong individuals, loving, caring individuals, we feel like we can love people out of their stuff. We feel like we could just put some energy in and change the situation, and voila, everything's great. And Spirit said, no, we can't do that. We want to do that, but if a person is locked in on their personality type and they don't see anything wrong and they're unwilling to heal or change or whatever, you're going to have to let them go. You're going to have to let them go, or you're going to lose yourself. So you do have a choice, right? You don't have to follow what I'm saying. You don't have to follow what he's saying. But know that if you venture down that road and you do not stop, you will lose yourself. Okay? You will, yeah, you'll put yourself through hell trying to keep somebody who don't want to be kept. Now, the flip side, which I did play for you, and I could, when you exit the situation with an avoidant, they become anxious because now you have left the scene and what they once knew no longer exists, meaning you standing firm, being yourself, trying to be healthy for the both of them, that stops. Then they may, one of the first things they feel is a sense of relief when y'all break up or when they ghost, because now they can go do whatever it is that they think they want to do, right? But then when you're not chasing, meaning you're not showing up, checking in, uh, worried about them, trying to coax them out of their situation, it's like, well, wait a minute. They get a little curious. Then they realize that you're happier once you realize your self-worth and you're happier without them. It begs the question, well, did I do this right or did I do this wrong? Now, some of them may think, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. It was them all the while. And they may go find what they think is a replacement. It won't be. It won't be. Everybody's energy signature is different. You know what I mean? Everybody shows love differently. And a lot of times they're going to end up with uh, not necessarily rebounds, but they go find other people that turn out to be nothing like you, okay? They're actually toxic. And those situations end anyway. So then they look back at you like, well, damn, why did you leave? Why did this person move on? Why is this person not standing still and strong, waiting on me again? Because you moved on. You detached. You gave them exactly what they were asking for, that space. You decided with that space because now your head can clear. A lot of times, avoiders don't realize that with strong people, not the anxious, but more of the secure attached people. Once a secure attached person realizes that this person is playing with them, they no longer play the game either. And they go find their happiness, which does not include that avoidant person. There's no need for that person. That person can't put in energy. That person can't put in time. That person can't change. Okay. Well, go do that wherever you're doing that with people. And 9 times out of 10, an avoider is going to go towards somebody who does not require anything from them, does not require them to be, move with integrity or be better than they were the next day. Like that person is going to go with very lazy, low vibrational people. This comes out in the cards all the time, especially tarot. It comes out in the cards all the time. Folks want to go be where it's easy. They don't have to put in that effort. Nobody's trying to, everything is surface level. Nobody's trying to get close to one another. They just surface enough to snake each other, but not surface enough to care. You know what I'm saying? Or to be genuine. Because once they get to the caring part, somebody's running. One or both of them might be departing at the same time. So they go be where it's safe, where people just ha ha he he what it looked like. You know, that pride and ego type energy. That's what they go for. With you, it's a burden. With you, it's too much work. Oh my God, I gotta change. I got to show up. I got to share my feelings. I got to be real with this person. I can't hide from my shit. Because the empath is going to see through the mask, the facade. And what empaths, y'all need to realize this. You cannot expect everyone to be empathic like you. You cannot expect everyone to develop the way you develop. You know, empaths need protectors and other empaths to hmm, somebody is anxious right now as I'm talking. But my heart started racing. And as soon as I said it, my heart calmed down. Whew. So an empath they need protectors. They need people to reciprocate energy and be honest with them. An empath picks up on dishonesty, and that messes with your central nervous system. You don't want somebody in your life fucking with your central nervous system. An avoidant partner, once you realize if that's what they are, right? Then you realize this person is always going to test your gangster. They're going to test your nerve. They really are going to harm you. You know what I'm saying? They will harm you. And you should not keep your putting yourself in a harmful situation emotionally with somebody. That causes trust issues. That causes that hurt. You know, that causes you to may potentially have unhealed trauma and project on the others. You might not even have had it as a child, but that avoidant will bring something out of you. But then again, like I said, a securely attached person is going to eventually not put up with any of it. You know, a securely attached person is more or less going to stand their ground, and then they're going to move on. The avoidant will be a memory. Period. Like, you know, they might be anxious, they might try to come back in, but a securely attached person is not going to let them back in. And a securely attached person is going to see it objectively. They're not going to want to keep going in those cycles again. You're going to need to prove to a securely attached person why they should even speak, you know, much let alone let you back in their life. And to be more securely attached, when this person reaches out, don't rush. And don't rush to communicate with them. You're not beholden to them. You're not required. If you don't want to respond, don't. You don't. If you didn't already have them blocked, right? Don't bother. What is the point? What is the point? So this person will have to jump through hoops, which 9 times out of 10 with an avoidant that has done no work on themselves, they won't. They might appear to a little bit because they may put in a little bit more effort than the last time, but you will know quickly that there's no significant changes with that person. So careful with these individuals because they will put you in this long journey energy that's going to end anyway. Now, currently, there's a lot of changes going on for a lot of different people. Um, Imprisonment is definitely one of them. As you can see in the news, lots of people going to jail. But I'm also hearing on more of a, was it micro level, like, you know, personal level. People are not, people are getting in trouble. Okay. Whatever the trouble is, people are getting into it. Their debt come due. With that, is that karmic deck? Yeah. Your karmic deck is coming due. There are a lot of people, a lot of elders recently that are passing away. There's a lot of shifting going on. And I was listening to an astrologer briefly, and he was talking about the Sagittarius energy that we're in right now. Which, Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini on this on the astrological wheel. But the energy that we're feeling right now is calling people to be authentic. It's calling people to stand out. It's calling people to be creative. It's calling people to show up differently, right? And change their philosophies on things that no longer serve them. If you don't, you're going to pay the consequences of that. Okay? You're not getting away from your karma. I was just saying that, I think last night, couple nights, right? I keep telling y'all, folks are not going to escape their karma. It may feel like it, may look like it, but no, you will be dealt with. If you walking around here with no integrity, no respect for yourself, yes, you will be dealt with. Like, seriously, it just, folks are not going to get away. Lots of people want to evade their circumstances. Spirit said there will be no evasion because it'll catch you in a way you're not thinking about. I was talking to Black Cherry, and I was saying, when our spirit guides have the opportunity to do what they need to do, they don't want us to think about it. They don't want us to plot and plan. Just do what it is that you need to do. Like, you need to report a situation. I don't know. Do that, right? Then let the chips fall where they may. They may surprise you. 9 times out of 10 for me, they surprise me all the time. Like, when I hear consequences of things that I have released, oh my God. It's well beyond my imagination. You got to let spirit do what they got to do. So when you detach from situations, try to detach in peace, not in bitterness, not in sadness, not in depression, not in anger. Just nothing. Nothing. Nothing needs people. Nothing needs circumstances. Nothing it. Go on with your life. Go on with your life. Why? Because it's the healthiest thing you can do to not get caught up, stuck on an outcome that's not likely to happen. Or for the fact that, what's weird about these dismissive avoidance is that the fact that they think you might want this outcome, they hold it back even more. I feel like, to me, that's very devilish, very conniving. You know what I'm saying? Um, it speaks to their character as not being a good one. Beyond avoidant, it's very narcissistic, very deviant. You know, somebody who wants to see someone in pain because they were once in that same pain. You got to let that person go. They may not seek out intentionally to harm you, but if they feel like they can and they do so anyway, then they don't have the emotional integrity that will sustain a relationship. So take it how it resonates. Somebody is anxious tonight. Now, this could be an avoidant watching me, and if you're watching, just know that more than likely, if you're behaving in any way that I have described, you're losing or have already lost your uh, your partner, the person in the person in mind who has already been distant to you, who has not come back for you. Okay? Because I don't assume that everybody on my channel, most of my people are good people, empathic, empathetic, compassionate individuals. But there are some that watch for other reasons with the assumption that they can spy on people and determine what they can do next. Well, guess what? If you spying and you've been carrying on in the manner in which I speak, you're going to be sorely disappointed. You will be very disappointed. Tell me more, Spirit. Increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Yes. So with the sudden wealth, and the increase in material wealth or spiritual, it just feels like there was love bombing in the past energy with somebody's avoidant. Okay. Like they came in and they just seemed like the perfect partner. Things that they said, the things that they did, the things that they had, all of that combined made you feel like, yeah, I might have met the one. This is my person. Tell me more, Spirit. Your person, meanwhile, this avoidant is in love with a stripper. That's what I just heard. Like, they're the type of person that will go out and do something sexually deviant or something like that. They will go out seeking something that is surface level to satiate themselves. Oh, we got bad. Something important as a new job or raise. Yeah, this is back to that potential. New job or raise. Something in the distant horizon. Also, I feel like this person may have come in, promising that they are moving up the ranks or something like that in their career or their business. Tell me more about this change. Spirit. Changes in your life. The moon energy. Okay, moon energy, mother energy, but it's also confusion and delusion. Those that delusional energy needs to change. Emotional, yeah. Dismissive avoidance are a little delusional when they think they have brought something to your life. But if they actually stop, pause, and think about what actually have they brought to your life, they're more than likely gonna lie to themselves because they haven't really brought anything but drama, pain, stress. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot that comes with trying to be in a connection with somebody who doesn't want to sit still enough to be in a connection and face whatever they need to face. Here we go. You need to defend yourself, but you notice I had shield in the title. You may have to defend yourself from somebody who's in prison. But I also feel like your spirit guides will have to be the ones protecting you from this person's karma or their BS, period. I feel like I get signs and synchronicities on a personal level. If I step outside my house, I get constant signs. There's a particular sign that I get that is personal to me that my spirit guides have shown me to let me know that I am protected. This person ain't gonna come to me. My avoidance, the avoidance in my life, they're not going to pick up the phone one day and just call me. They're not gonna just show up, knock on my door. They're not gonna just show up in my life. And on top of that, one, that's because their personality type won't allow it, and their pride and ego will keep them from it, right? But my guides are not even gonna let it. So that means, and to give you an example, they go to call me and then get distracted. All of a sudden, they got a phone call they got to take. Now they got an emergency to handle. They forgot they was getting ready to call me because now they gonna go deal with something. My spirit guides is not gonna let somebody in my life, at least right now. They're not gonna let somebody in my life that don't belong there. They're not gonna let somebody in my life that has not changed. But I will say this, y'all. This ain't gonna be the case for everybody. Some of us, and I say always include myself sometimes, will be tested. This person, you may see them. They may show up. They may appear different or say something like they're gonna be different. But you must then use your intuition and your discernment about who this person is showing up for you, towards you, whatever. And then we got climbing towards success, the ladder. Spirit said, with your detachment, you can climb the ladder of success. Bottom of the deck, yep. And it is definitely was time for you to get out of the situation. This is the favorite card of the deck. I swear, this deck always wants to give me this card. I don't ask for this card. It's almost 200 cards in this deck. This card loves to come out because many, 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 many of the collective, y'all need to get out of situations. Okay? It's time to let that journey end. It's time to get to your final destination with this person. World card energy. It's time to allow them to have their karma and get out of their life. It's time. Tell me about the marriage spirit, specifically the marriage or the connection. Don't be tempted to lower your standards. Wow. I had to turn it around and read it. Don't be tempted to lower your standards with somebody pretending they're going to give you a commitment they're not going to give you. Keep on moving towards success, meaning keep on reaching high. Don't reach low. Don't go back down for this person. Don't try to bring them up with you because they're going to try to pull you down. Okay? So don't be tempted to lower your standards. Don't go down on the ladder trying to bring them up. Don't. They got to climb the ladder just like you climb the ladder. So if they don't make any effort to get up the ladder, they got to stay at the bottom where they belong. Spirit said, and you know how they put flags on tops of things, tops of buildings, tops of mountains. There's a reason why this flag is waving high, and it looks like it's on a crest of a mountain. Do not be tempted to lower your standard. These people aren't worth it. What's up, Queen Soul? Peace, peace, peace. Tell me about the protection spirit. A goal-oriented person. But this person, I feel like more or less, this person is a target of something. That's what's going to send them to prison. They're a target, but spirit is protecting you from whatever they are a target of. Oh wait, turning him on. Yeah, somebody is a target. That target is going to jail. Tell me about the moon and the changes. Cause change, and change. Good fortune. So you, collective, being more of a secure attachment style, more than likely, okay, or anxious, you have good fortune. That's the change coming in your life. You're getting rid of this delulu energy with this person. You know, you starting to really see that they didn't add any value to your life. Like, you don't need anything from them. What's this say? Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Yeah. I feel like this is past energy. Oh, you know what it is? Spirit say you have been healing. You have been healing, either currently or in the recent past. I feel like it's more recent past. Like you have put in work into yourself to heal what may have had you anxiously attached to somebody. You know what I'm saying? You have worked on yourself is what I'm getting. And so that development is something that your person needed, but it's something that you are already experiencing. All right, tell me more, spirit, about the bag. I feel like your person might be focused more on financial gain, which is not focused on love at all, or connection, or friendship. You know, what's this say? Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths open up. Yeah. So in the distant horizon, just to tie that in, you got money coming your way, new job, new career. You got new coming in, and it's blessings coming for you. You're getting more clear, and you're going to have good fortune. However, you've been shielded from somebody who's a target or tried to make you a target. That person is going to prison. That person is going to face literal jail time. Okay? I don't know what they did behind the scenes. I don't know if it was against you. I don't know if they plotted or it's just something other they did, but they're going to deal. They have no choice. They're going to deal with it. Period. Period. Boo. Okay. And then this commitment, Spirit said, do not be tempted to. So don't try to bring this person along. I'm trying to tell you, don't bother. What's the bottom of the deck? Misunderstanding. Yeah. You know, your person, what I feel is that this person wants you to believe that you moving on is just a misunderstanding. You know, they was gonna get right back to you. You ain't gotta leave them like that, as JC said. You know what I'm saying? I know I hurt you, but you know, you ain't have to do me like that. It was just a misunderstanding. You know, I was gonna get right back. Nope, 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 nope. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Somebody has already proven to you how unworthy they are to be in this connection with you. They have, and you are not the Lulu, man. They might be, but you're not. It's like Spirit is saying you being able to pull back your energy and detach a bit has gotten you to see things in a clear fashion. You're not sitting there in this energy of, okay, I guess, you know, they're going to be different. I know it. They're going to do better. No, 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 no. Get that out your head. Allow them to go be who they are. Do not wait for this person who is not coming. Okay. I feel like it's safer for you to move on with your life and assume that they're not coming than to sit and wait for them to show up, because you will be waiting forever. It's time to go on. If this is a romantic relationship and not the friendship we both briefly talked about, then you need somebody in your corner that's already showing up and not love bombing you, but just genuinely understands who you are and vice versa. Not the too good to be true vibes, not the one day we gonna do this vibes. The right now, let's do this. Somebody's gonna fight for you. Um, One of the things that I think I had become an avoidant in relationships due to neglect from a parent or parents, right? Um, I wasn't such a full blown avoidant. It was just when the relationship just was not going my way, I was just done. I would check out. And I would check out in a way that is over. Like, I don't really see no point in this. You obviously don't. Like, I'm very sensitive to reciprocal energy. And if you are not reciprocating to me, then I don't know. What's the point, right? So it took my spouse, my husband, to finally like be the one to break down my walls of vulnerability and get me to communicate. Now he can't shut me up, but it required him to, like, I required him without knowing this. I required someone that was going to say, I'm staying. I'm not, we're going to talk about this. We're going to figure it out together. I was like, wow, that never happened before. That was like, okay, that got my attention. He was the one to break down the walls that I had up. So I could say that I have had avoidant attachment style at some point in time, maybe even anxious, and now I feel more secure. Why? Because I don't hold anybody into my life forever. You can come, you can go, you can do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not clawing to keep you in my life. You got to do what you feel you need to do. Okay? And I hope that those of us, in the chat, or that from the sound of my voice, whenever you see this, if you're listening and you're going through this, I hope that you're able to identify where you are on that spectrum of attachment styles. And if you're not secure attachment, then work on it. Work on that. Learn what it is, and feed into yourself. Work on it. If you're dealing with somebody who is an avoidant, hey, it's time to stop working on it, because they don't deserve your effort if they're going to keep you in a runner chaser type energy. Like, let them go. Let them figure out whatever it is that they need to figure it out. If you weren't on here earlier, somebody is watching that is anxious, or their entity attachment is very anxious, because my heart was skipping a beat for a second. So, you know, keep in mind what kind of relationships you're developing with people, because when we identify we are anxious attachment, where we're avoiding, we might not have the language for it, but we realize something in the milk ain't right. Like, something has to change. Be the one to change for you, because that's the only person you can change for. You. You can't expect healthily, with a healthy mind, I should say, expect your avoidant to change. Don't have that expectation. And if you pull away from them with that anticipation of, well, if I pull away, they're going to change. They may go through changes, but they may not actually change, right? They may go through the anxiety we talked about. They may feel away, okay? But they may be too lazy to be different, to show up. They may never, ever show up. but they may give you the feeling that it's possible. Let that possibility go. If it ain't healthy, if it ain't right, it ain't right. Let it go. Go live your life. Go explore other relationships. Go be happy. You can find happiness without that person. Hell yeah, it take way more than potential. And I don't care who you experiencing this with, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a romantic partner, a parent, a child. At some point in time, it is up to them to show up in the relationship. And if they can't show up, then it's up to you to decide what this is going to be. A lot of people are very loyal individuals. Nothing wrong with being loyal, okay? But if you're loyal to your own detriment, then there is a problem because you become a martyr and you allow somebody to suck you dry. And you don't even realize it until you're like damn near collapse. And I know that part because I've been there. Like I let somebody take me through it. Couple people let me. They took me through it, and I'm like, what in the world am I doing? You know what I'm saying? What was I thinking? But I had to get a grip on myself. Like, oh no, 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 that's not what we're doing. All right, tell me more, spirit. We get ready to get some sexy notes, crazy sexy notes, and then we're gonna we're in the live. It says you are awesome. It says your greatest relationship. I love this day. Your greatest relationship is the one you have with yourself. Build it, strengthen it, praise yourself. Share what makes you proud. Your beaming delight will help others shift from glass half empty thinking to heck, I'm pretty awesome too. I know I try to do that for people. You know, I come from a glass half full kind of attitude. And I just feel like, we got challenges, we got threats, but we just have to work through them. Mm, tell me more. And it says, share your gifts. Your creativity positively impacts the world. It's ripe with beauty and innovation. Everyone benefits from your art, especially you. Get to know your talented inner muse, nurture your vision. Your unique gifts are meant to be shared. But yeah, stop holding on to your gifts expecting to be able to pour into this person. This person who can't appreciate your gifts. Go give your gifts to the world. There's somebody out there that's going to show up and really like what you got. You know how it is when you got a business and your friends don't support it. Stop holding on to them people. Go give your gifts to the world where other people can appreciate you. Ooh, oh shoot. Oh well, I see a card I'm pulling. The whole deck almost fell out. It said it's time to rise. I don't think I've seen this card come out. No matter what's happening in our lives, we always have the potential to rise above it. We always have the potential to rise above it. Rise out of our negative thoughts or our limiting beliefs. Oh, I'm sorry. Rising is one powerful choice away. Rise out of our negative thoughts, our limiting beliefs. Rise out of our comfort zone or our complaints. Rise out of our slump or out of the potato chip bag. Get up and rise. What are you waiting for, darling? Yeah, don't let this person get you down. That's in that change in that moon energy. Don't let anybody hold you back. Mm-mm. Remember, this says climb the ladder of success. It's time to keep it moving. Don't let nothing hold you down that ring. They want to be on the bottom of that. Let them have at it. Tell me more, spirit. Stop comparing. Yeah. So an avoidant attachment or avoidant, dismissive or what's the other one? Disorganized. They'll have you comparing yourself to those low vibrational people they are comfortable with. One make you wonder, well, what is it that they see in them that they don't see in me if they want to go be around that but not around me? Don't do that. Okay? Don't bother. Don't bother. Recognize who you are. Your self-worth is got to be enough. It says apples don't compare themselves to oranges. Stars don't compare themselves with other stars. They know there's room for all to shine in this ever expanding universe. So embrace your differences, celebrate your quirks and kinks, bring your fullest expression of self forward, and champion others when they do the same. Tell me more, Spirit. I love this deck. She did a good job. I mean, they did a good job. She did a good job. You did a good job. Choose love. Aw. It says, if you're struggling with an obstacle or conflict, choose the path of love. Suffering, doubt, and frustration all transform in the presence of love. So show your love courageously. Show your love openly. Show your love with no strings attached. It is safe to give and receive love. In fact, if you have a hard time with self love, start outside yourself and work your way in. Show love to others. Showing love to others can be a gateway for loving yourself. Listen, don't let this person rob you of the love and compassion that you have for yourself and others. Don't hold on to love just for the sake of holding on to them. Don't bother. What's it say? Give each other space, right? Give them the space to go figure out what they need to do. But anyway, sometimes it's hard to work out our differences when we don't have enough space. So take a step back to create room for authentic conversation. Perhaps you need to consult with a therapist to guide you through the emotional thicket, or maybe you just need some new tools for healthy communication. Whatever it is, don't try to fix it right now. Give each other space. Listen, a secure attached or anxious attached person is always trying to fix it. So give them space and stop trying to fix it. Okay? Whatever this person is, if they can't come through on their own, if they don't have the energy, the drive, the willingness to be different and show up differently, let them be. That yeah, exactly. No contact kind of space. Because what block kind of space. Okay? I don't exist to you anymore kind of space. I'm good over there, you good where you at kind of space. What? Go do what you do. I'm gonna do me type of space. I just cut the cord kind of space. Cut the cords. Like we done. We severed. Divorce kind of space. Okay. Um, we can give some space. Go do you. And I was telling y'all last night when we were talking last night, I was talking about them feelings going numb. It don't feel the same. You even lose the attraction for a person like that will put you through this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because what did you start to really think like, what was I thinking? Like, what was I attracted to? What did I really see in this person? You realize it was built on potential, but it wasn't built on love. It was built on you giving something, pouring into something, assuming that it would be more, but it doesn't. That's right. Burnt contract concept. I know that's right. Shoot. Take stock of your blessings. What you grateful for. Share that with others. You can't please everybody, so let them go. Let them go get pleased by the lower vibrational energies that they are tempted by. But don't you be tempted by it. Release this. This person can't let go of that devil energy that they sit in. Oh well, that's not your job, not your problem. But your job is to detach from that, to not be slave to it, to not get caught up in it, not to get stuck in those cycles. What you looking for? Did you find that other shirt? Look at that. Speak up. You do. Oh, shut the door. So we got Mommy Kumba Bang. I don't know this word. I don't know this spirit guide, but let's see what they say in the book. This is about speaking up for yourself. Also, this doesn't mean speak up to this person. It could be just raising your voice, not squashing your star. You know what I'm saying? Like who you are, your talents, your gifts. Don't hide them because this person can't appreciate you. I went through that too. I was just shrinking in the shadows, and somebody was like, "Don't let that person make you feel small like that." I said, "Huh, you're right." So, Mommy Kuamba Bang protects the mouth of the Senegal River. When making an offer to her, you must not speak to anyone else, coming or going. Sing for her, chant for her, call to her. Give Goddess Kuamba your voice, and she'll be happy. So speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have a right to be heard. Yep. You're betraying yourself by not speaking up. Your words have power. Own your voice. Yeah. So one of the things about dealing with a dismissive avoidance, they make you feel like you're being too much when you're just being regular. When you're asking for something healthy, they want to make you feel like, you're doing too much. And they'll tell themselves that you are doing too much when you're not, in fact. And she says the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. Well, what do you stand for? Tell somebody today. And it says, Goddess declaration, I reclaim my voice, speak out, and I speak up. Listen, don't let somebody who feels less than convince you that you are less than because that's the way they feel. Don't do that. Try not to do that, okay? Have your resistance. You know what I'm saying? Have your resistance. Stand firm in who you are, your beliefs, your foundation. You know what I'm saying? You're a powerhouse. Remember that about yourself. Bring that good juju, okay, into every circumstances. Put your little magical touch on everything you do. You are magical. In your creativity, in your wealth, your abundance, your thoughts. You are creative. Even if you don't feel crafty, you're still creative. You know what I'm saying? Use that to your advantage. And don't, like I said, don't let this person make you feel like you too much. Because this person will have you betraying yourself, Aunt Nancy. This person will have you feeling like you betrayed or you are betraying yourself by speaking up. Do not allow it. Don't allow it. So take it how it resonate. If it don't resonate, don't take it. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you. It's an energetic boost to the channel to subscribe and to hit the like button. So I appreciate you being here, watching as well. And I hope that the message was helpful to you. That is the goal here in the Spiritual Lounge, is that we are, learning something new or understanding something different. Sometimes it could just be like, I know this, but I needed to hear it today. So I hope the messages were helpful to you. And I appreciate y'all coming. All right. So I'm going to bid y'all adieu before my phone burn out. But y'all have a good night. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Peace.